Alright, so clearly that intro wasn't good enough for you. That intro was not good enough for you guys. Alright, that's cool. That's cool.
No,
it was fun. It just scared the shit out of me.
So, just I actually had an intro, which is a funny thing. But that's kind of thrown out the window, so it doesn't matter. 1 second.
1,
2. Ooh, girl, you look beautiful. Oh, shit.
Thank you.
Oh, you glittery as shit.
Just so I could look like Jason today.
Girl, you look like a goldfish with silver. Like,
just a little. So, just a bit.
So fabulous.
I figured, like, we're doing this for a project, we're doing this for an assignment, may as well look a little bit better than I usually do when I freaking sit in class with, with my blanket around my shoulders and just listening to my professor. So, yay, Amelfa's here.
Yay, Jason are here just looking like bombs. What the fuck?
You're fine. Mitch did say that he would come in. He just had to grab food and stuff, so he'll be in a bit. So, we did mention that tonight would be about conflict resolution and mediation. So, huge disclaimer here. Okay? We are not professionals. The 3 of us that are in this VC right now are not professionals. My professor and TA who do this kind of on a regular basis are more of a professional than we are. Okay? So, anyone that is in this VC is generally just sharing their experience and what they've had through their life. And a lot of this can be difficult to hear. So if you need to take a step out and mute the channel or like just take a step away from your computer, please do so. Like, our job here talking about this stuff is not to harm you guys, but literally just to share our own experience and how we handle our situations differently from each other, because everyone has a different way of doing it. Now, another thing too is that something that you'll notice, there's different things that we can pick out from each other's story, and that's generally because we've done it ourselves, or the situation that we've been through, somebody else has a shared experience with. So, another thing, guys, please, please, please don't be afraid to reach out to your friends, to your family, because sometimes we do need help, and, we can't handle things all the time by ourselves. And there is no weakness in reaching out for help, which is something that I struggle with a lot. But, hello, Mitch.
We all have our imperfections, but please, guys, just realize it early. If you notice you have an issue or a problem, please seek help either professionally or just with family and friends. Just speaking out alone helps dramatically. It's a huge weight off your shoulders. Even with a stranger, like, they don't even have to know you, but you just need to talk about it, talk it out, and just be more open. Be more open to just helping yourself, right?
Yeah. Another thing
test
too.
my mic real quick. Sorry.
No, you're good. Your mic sounds fine. So
it sounds great.
I mean.
Okay. Yeah,
no
I switched to the other output thingy. So.
Okay, so that's why you were making that face and that gesture.
Yeah, because I was just like, am I fine? Because yeah, I'm actually wearing pros right now, so.
Yeah, so you're fine. Your audio and everything's good. Now, the other thing that we touch on this, but, like, if you guys have an issue within the community as well, like, Amelfa and I are moderators, Jason's our streamer, like, please don't be afraid to reach out to the moderators or to the streamers and let them know, like, what's going on. Like, our job as moderators is not just to sit here and, like, ban bots. It's literally to protect our streamer and also to protect you guys as the community. So if something is going wrong, whether it's with another community member, whether it's with a mod that you're struggling with, it doesn't matter. Please reach out to us, because, like, that's our job to deal with.
I want to make everything a safe space for all of you, not just us, but for all of you.
Yes, That is the biggest thing, is creating a safe space for everyone. Okay, now I'm so sorry, but we're gonna go into like textbook definitions for this stuff. So like, bear with me with this.
Fuck. Bear
Because this might be a little bit blacky. It's the best way I can say that. But like, conflict resolution, no matter how you think about it, is trying to resolve an issue. Generally, when we talk about conflict resolution, though, we talk about it as an informal way. So when we talk about it with like friends or family, that's informal because we're not bringing a third person into the situation. Okay? So when we talk about like de-escalation techniques, it means that we are trying to talk the person down and get them out of the emotional state of their head and back into the logical, rational side. Okay? So it can be done just between two people talking things out, like Amelfa and I do, or Jason and I do, or we could bring in a third person to listen to both sides and then come to a decision or say, hey, well, both of you are in the wrong, so like both of you need to fix this situation. Okay, mediation is the most voluntary form. Okay, so a mediator is somebody who comes into the situation, listens to both sides, but they have to make sure that they are the most neutral in that situation.
Unbiased.
So they can't be leaning from one side to another. Okay? And they try and keep people engaged so that the mediation can go well and they can both compromise, everybody is cooperating, so there's no issues. Arbitration and adjudication, we kind of rope these two together just because, again, this is another third-party member involvement, okay? An arbitrator, for example, if you have a strike situation where a university or a college is on strike, an arbitrator will come in to make a final decision or judgment after hearing both sides and say, okay, this is what you guys are going to do, here's how we go from here. The last one that we tend to talk about is legal recourse. This is the most formal form for the simple fact that lawyers and the judicial system are involved. Okay, so you have lawyers from both sides who bring evidence from each of the respective parties, and this is held at a public hearing, and the decision is binding. So whatever the judge or the jury says, that's it. There's no fighting that, nothing. That's what you guys have to do. Now, each culture has their own way of resolving conflict, but there is no right way to resolve it. Some people go to mediation because of an outside perspective. And if we think of restorative practices, for example, within the indigenous culture, they use what are called mediation circles. Mediation circles has, I'm going to say guilty and not guilty, but like this, that's the best way I can explain it. So I'm sorry if this sounds very wrong, but with indigenous cultures, you'll have the people who were wronged and the people who did the wronging in a circle along with the elder of the tribe that they belong to, and then other supporting people. And the reason they do it in a circle is for the sole purpose of thinking with one mind. So when you're in a circle, everybody's heads are kind of together, so they think of it as we are one singular mind. And this encourages everybody to speak, and everyone has their own way of seeing the situation. And now that you've got this all out in the open, it makes it easier to talk about the situation. All right. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to be sharing some of our own experiences, so please feel free, if you need to mute the stream, if you need to walk away, take a break, grab some water, grab a drink if you want to, because it is a weekend. Why not? So if you guys have anything that you guys want to share in chat, We're kind of going back and forth in chat to check out your stuff as well. Sharing passes.
No worries, guys. We're not ignoring you. We will reply to you in a timely manner.
Yes, we will try.
We will try.
That is the most important thing.
As much as possible.
But yes, JD, like you are absolutely correct. But as much as sharing your past to strangers is generally easier, you have to also make sure that that person is willing to hear you out.
Consent is both sides.
Right? So you don't want to just have it where, you just completely unload on this stranger and you're like,
I just met you, dude.
So what do you think?
I just met you, dude.
They're just trying to vibe.
Who are you?
Like, please help me.
You just sit next to him at the bus stop. Yo, dog, I've been having a hard day, man.
Right, so even with family and friends too, like one thing that I try and do, I do this a lot with Mitch, is we'll say, okay, how was your day? Are you in a place where you can like hear me out, or are you not capable of doing that at the moment? And by hearing out, we just yeah. I definitely agree with that, because some people, and like this is an important thing, like regardless of whether you think of this like streamer, moderator, viewer, community member, whatever. That is a huge thing, is to feel safe in a community. Like if you don't feel safe in that community, sharing your opinion, saying hi, feeling welcome, you're not gonna actively stay and watch that streamer. You're just gonna be like, no. So like that's a really important thing to consider, like regardless of whether you're just starting out or like whether you feel like your streaming has hit this like a rut and you can't go higher, whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, what do I want my community to be? What do I want my community to be known for? And like for Jason, literally he has this on his sweaters, he has it in the back behind him as like his phrase, like this community is known for spreading positive vibes. Like anytime we go into chat, oh my gosh, you still have it, I love it. Anytime you go into chat and a new person comes in chat, the automatic reaction is that regardless of whether it's a moderator or community, somebody responds to you and says, hey, welcome in, glad to see you. Like that's something you can't teach a new streamer or an older streamer, you know what I mean? Like that's you as a person, that's you as a streamer, that's you as a moderator, whatever.
Be more friendly, Mr. Grinch. No.
No. Oh no, not the Mr. Grinch reference.
Oh no. Of all the low things.
No, but like to this day, that is still one of like my favorite Christmas stories. Why? Because it's like at the end of it, he realizes, it is not about the materialistic things that you have in life. It's about building this community of people who, regardless of what happens, like if something goes wrong with one person, the community surrounds them and says, hey, you know what, regardless of what you're going through, we're here for you. Tell us what you need. Do you need food? Do you need somebody to babysit your kids? Like, do you need help with your stream setup, like your Discord, whatever the case may be? Or like, do you just need somebody to vent to? That is like a huge thing, and it's something that I love about this community. And like anytime I go to a new community that my people raid, I'm like, am I gonna feel welcome here? Like, am I gonna feel the same way that I do with this community that I do with my other ones? And like, we kind of talked about this a little bit with the Twitch stream, but like, or maybe not, I don't know, I don't remember, but like I had to leave 2 of my communities. One I had been a moderator for, and the other one I was just a viewer in, but they considered me like this VIP person. Don't know why. But like that just completely blew up, and it blew up out of nowhere. And I no longer felt safe in those communities. And one of the streamers, one of her mods, like, just ripped into me and another person. And I'm not mad at her. Like, I get why she did it. She's upset for her friend, fair. But, like, if you want to solve a situation, don't blast it out in a server. Like, I get that you're upset, but, like, let's also take into account that there are community members who thrive on starting drama. They thrive on it. And so if you see people talking about a situation because you've now got screenshots from the server you're no longer in from this one person, those screenshots can be taken out of context very easily.
For sure.
And there's a huge reason why I refuse to do screenshots when, there's a problem in a server. I will actively talk it out with you and say, okay, yeah, this is what I'm seeing. And, like, 3 communities just blew up at that point. Like, I figured I was going to get kicked as a mod in one. The other one, I just left the community because I was like, you know what? I don't like being yelled at. I don't like other people being brought into a situation. And, like, my anxiety was so bad. And it wasn't because, like, I got yelled at. It's because somebody who has trauma from being yelled at was brought into this situation and cussed out. And she messaged me panicked. And she was like, I don't know what's going on. And, like, she literally had just gotten home from work and was like, I don't know what's going on. Why am I being yelled at? What is going on? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? And so I'm in a VC with people. Because there was supposed to be some community thing or whatever it was. And I lost it. And I had told this streamer beforehand, like, if you want to solve shit, can't be turtling. Like, you have to actively speak out and say, like, hey, I don't appreciate this. Or, yeah, I did this thing wrong. Like, I take responsibility for that. He still hadn't done it up to that point. And it wasn't until I completely broke down in that VC, crying my eyes out and not being able to breathe, that he finally decided to do something. And, like, you guys know, because I was talking to you about this, Mitch knows, like, 3 days straight, I was crying nonstop. Because my anxiety was that bad and I couldn't breathe and I felt like everybody hated me. That is something that, regardless of moderator, community, streamer, it's something you have to look out for. And, like, keeping your community safe is not easy. Like, by no means is it easy. But that's why you have a moderating team. And this is why we talk things out, because, like, that's what makes it easier for everybody to do things together and make sure that everyone's on the same page. And if you guys aren't on the same page, somebody's gonna get disrespected. Like, I felt so disrespected as a moderator in another community, to the point where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and it's not by the streamer. That's the thing. Like, it wasn't even by the streamer. And this is somebody who has, like,
just community run rampant.
Well, kind of. But it's like, he's this very chill person.
Yeah, they're very, very, like, they're really relaxed.
Yes. Relaxed to the point where, like, we talked about this with the Twitch stream, like, the minors in chat and, like, having them in VC and, like, like, when I say they were talking in general chat about things they shouldn't be talking about in general chat, like, a 14-year-old should not know certain things.
Yikes on a bike.
So, like, when I comment on a situation as a moderator, I make a general statement. And, like, you guys will know this, you've seen me message that. Amelfa, you've seen me message it in a freaking chat. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm not saying it because, I want you guys to realize I'm a moderator. No, I'm saying it to protect you guys. I'm saying it to protect the community. I'm saying it to protect the streamer. Because if those screenshots ever got out of that server and like how relaxed things were, they could literally be shut down. Their account could be suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to try and avoid that as much as possible. But then you've got people who like tag you and reply to you and say, well, you know, you say this and you say not to talk about this stuff, but you've literally got a person with X name and like this is their profile picture. And I'm like, oh, you really want to start things today? Like, you want to pick fights with the moderator? Really? Like, and it got to the point where one of the other we have a moderator chat like within that server, and I openly said in that chat, you guys need to deal with these two people because if I deal with them again, I'm just gonna kick them. Like, I don't care. Like, somebody else deal with them, please. And they were like, what happened? And one of them, she's in Europe. I can't blame her for not knowing the situation because like time zones suck.
Nope.
Yep.
But at the point that she saw the messages, the original message that I had replied to saying, don't call me out like that, I said what I said, she was like, what the hell happened? Like, what? I've never seen you do this. And I was like, well, this is what they messaged me.
The bomb
They
dropped.
replied saying this. So, of course, I'm going to be upset with that situation. Like, I'm not mad at you guys, but, like, it feels like such it feels wrong. Like, to have community just say, you know, oh, like, yeah.
No, I get you.
I don't know how to explain it, but, like, it just feels bad. Because you're like, I'm here serving the community, trying to help out as best as I can, and then this is how the community's treating you. And like, whether you're a relaxed streamer or not, like, when you see situations like that, you should comment on it and you should say, hey, this is not how you speak to our people. These people are here to keep you safe, keep me safe, and like, make sure you guys are good.
Yeah.
If you want to disrespect our people, get the hell out.
Bro.
Bye-bye.
Yo, with streaming, I'd be a chief. I as really butch as I'm putting it, there's gonna be a chief where, you know, they protect their people and obviously you don't want internal conflict, right? No country, no turf, no type of fucking community wants any internal conflict, and obviously there should be peace, right? At least amongst the people, your people. But obviously there's always gonna be a shit disturber, a traveler that joins into your village and shit all over your crops, you know. So I don't know. I'm putting it in a way where like I don't know why this image is in my head, but like
no, it makes sense. Keep going.
It absolutely makes sense. Like when we have that phrase, it takes a village.
Yeah.
Right, to raise, whether it's to raise a child or like takes a village to like take care of a person, whatever. It's literally because we rely so much on our support systems for streaming, our moderating team and our VIPs and stuff like that, to keep things together.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is the way that we build our community. These are the people who have been here from the ground up and saying, hey, like, regardless of whether you're a small streamer or big streamer with like 2K views every time you stream or whatever, like, this is the way we want our community to be. This is how we support our people. This is what we do.
Yeah.
And like, the second that goes out the window, you lose the respect of your moderating team, and you know, you have more people who leave, and also more drama that started within other communities, right? So, going off of like, and that's a huge thing too. Like, you were talking about like actively saying, yeah, this is a problem. Like, when you have people who absolutely refuse to take responsibility for their actions, like, one of the servers that I'm in, we've already warned this person. So like, if they do this crap again, they're getting kicked out.
Facts.
They started out saying like, oh, you know, this is a brand new server. Like they're sharing it with another streamer, like whatever. And this is a viewer that's talking this way, mind you. Okay, so we're just talking amongst the community, just making sure things are fine, and we're talking about food stuff. Okay, so
Nice.
we're talking about like bacon and pancakes and like the differences between different communities or like different countries and the way that we do it. Like Canada has completely different bacon and sausage to America, for example. Like we have pea meal bacon up here. They don't have it down there.
So, like, what is that?
Back bacon.
It's basically like thick pieces of bacon. So like pork belly, you know how you have like those thick square pieces? Instead of it being square pieces, it's like more of an oval shape.
Yep.
But not
And they're
as,
breaded in cornmeal.
thick. So anyway.
Can you give me some food? Bill?
Care package.
Well, we
Fuck
did
the care
mention
package.
sending
Come
her-
visit.
Yeah, I know, because it's gonna go bad in the mail.
Yeah, true.
It's gonna go super bad in the mail.
Hey, Enzo, hurry up. Let's go on a road trip.
Actually, funny story. If you send it through a certain company, it will not be. Yeah, anything I send down to the States, I send through a specific company, not sending it through Canada Post, because no thank you.
Yep.
Beside the point. But like we were talking about various different things in that community, and like the last thing that we talked about was pancakes and bacon with like maple syrup on the bacon.
Oof.
I was like, best thing ever. Okay, this person's like, talk to me when somebody sensible comes in here, and by sensible I mean European. And I was like,
What the?
okay,
Oh shit! In your
buddy.
cornflakes this morning.
Buddy,
The
let
fuck?
me just tell you, you are in a server
Who be
owned
peeing
by
in your
an
stuff,
American
bro?
and a Canadian. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so I was telling I messaged my streamer and I'm like, hey, so how well do you know this person? And she's like, come in VC with me. And I'm like, okay. So we talked about it, and she's like, yeah, like they're just a viewer, so like if you feel threatened, if you feel like they're going to be a problem, just kick them. I was like, well, no, but if they pull that superiority crap again, I will kick them. Fast forward to a few days ago.
Oh my god.
This person, like, we're talking in chat about like assignments and stuff, whatever.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, well, can somebody help me with X thing? I have no idea what it is. All I know is it's a math thing, and just forget that.
Okay. All right. Good.
Food.
Forgotten.
So
They talking quantum physics or something? Like
no, I have no idea.
Parabolas.
I want to say it's like a computer science thing, but I have no idea. I don't care either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No one cares. To move on.
But like,
Yeah.
it's not my field.
Thank you, next.
Could be programming stuff.
So I was just like, I'm just watching this at this point, because I was like, I don't need to step in, but like, we already have like issues with this person, so let me just watch. And so one of the other moderators says, oh, well, this isn't too bad. This thing is super easy, but this thing is going to be more complicated. Didn't explain anything further than that, so I figured they went into DMs.
Okay.
No. Somebody else comes into the chat, says hello. And so the person asks them, okay, well, do you know how to do math? This thing. And the person says, unfortunately, no, like, I have no idea what this is. And this person went off and basically said, well, I want to call you useless, but that's mean, so I'm not going to. And I was like, you fucking did anyway. What the fuck do you mean? Yeah. So I messaged the moderator, and I was like, hey,
like thinking out loud, like,
sorry, not sorry.
You still said it, you fucking idiot.
Well, I didn't say anything at that point. Like, I messaged the other moderator who was there, and I was like,
Logic, what?
Give him the warning, because
bloody
if I
Jackie
give the
Chan
warning,
face.
I'm just gonna cuss him.
Exactly.
So, like, let me not do this. And then streamer comes in, and I messaged, and I just went in VC with her, and we were talking about a number of different things, because she's doing her re-debut, because she's a VTuber. She's doing hers on the 19th. Her model's absolutely amazing. I love it. Beside the point. We were talking about that stuff, and then I mentioned to her, hey, if this moderator doesn't give the warning, can you give the warning? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, go look in general chat. Like, this is what happened. And she saw it and she was like, are you freaking kidding me? And she said, I don't know what the emote is. I think it's one of her personal ones, but it was really funny to see because it's just like, it's like a cat emote with like confused eyes or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was just like, huh? And she said, don't talk like that here. And the person's like, what? Well, I didn't actually say it. And I'm like, didn't actually say it? Didn't actually
look in general
person,
to
but actually
to get a better image of that.
But actually
so you say this person's European?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it could be like a cultural
like,
thing.
Other stuff.
No. There's a cultural thing that they would say that is probably banned in Discord. Who knows? But like, there's a way that we know whether it's like cultural or not. I'm around enough European people and watch enough European YouTubers to know whether or not it's a joke or whether or not they're going after somebody and having a superiority complex.
So it's
like they
number
went
2
after the person.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she just was like, if you do this again, I will actively let the mods message you and be like, you're fucking gone.
You're done, boy.
Good motherfucking riddance.
DTFO.
Hands clean.
Yeah, it's just, but again, it's like one of those situations, and like having that policy of here's the warning, do it again, you're out.
Yep.
Like that makes it very simple for us as moderators because we know what the last strike is. You know?
Yeah.
And again, like talking from community point of view, talking from moderator point of view, that makes our job so freaking simple.
So easy.
Like you do anything more than like a one strike system and it gets difficult to deal with because you're like, okay, now where do I draw the line here? You know, we're talking about all these different situations. Now where do I draw the line with this? You know? So again, it's just a matter of like figuring things out and talking about things.
Hello.
Shush you.
Yeah, hello, that's me.
Hello, it's me.
The funny thing is like with that situation that I mentioned earlier with like the 3 communities blowing up and everything imploding, Mitch wasn't the first person that I went to with that one. Like I had people who were also in that VC with me who actively stepped out of VC and messaged me and said, hey, you know, don't respond to this anymore. Stop trying to like fix things because you can't. And I'm like, but I have to because now I'm being pulled into this and now I'm being told it's basically my job to deal with it. So like in that situation, it's generally whoever I feel like I can just openly talk about that with. And so that could be other moderators, it could be some of my other streamers, or it could just be whoever I feel is available at that time. Like, Mitch was working at that time when the situation blew up. So there was nothing that he could do, so he found out about it after. So other people will know about this situation first. It's not based on topic, for me, at least. It's based on who I feel safe with. So, like, Amelfa and I kind of talked about this, but, like, there are very, very few women that I feel safe with. And that I am open talking to. And that's based on my experience, because I've been burned a million times by other women. It's not to say that all women are bad. It's just, it depends on what their priorities are. If your priorities align with mine and you don't treat me like a stepping stool, of course I'm going to be there to help you as much as I can. But if you actively, and I say this regardless of like gender or anything, if you actively message a person and say, hey, how are you? and then go into a triad of your problems, that person is gonna hate you. Yep. Because one, you're basically just telling them, yeah, you're nothing except for, a recycling bin for me to throw my issues into. Like, yeah. The second you feel like that, regardless of whether you're a moderator, a spinner, or a community member, the second you start feeling like that, you feel like, oh, so this is how I'm seen. I'm nothing but like a garbage disposal to somebody. Yeah. And then if they don't properly check on you, you're like, oh, so nobody cares. And it gets into that toxic cycle that Amelfa mentioned earlier of going into that negative spiral. Like, Mitch knows because I've done this recently with him, and I'm sorry. But
you're fine.
It's not easy to get your head out of. And it's something that takes so much time to work on. Because if throughout your life, regardless of, whether it was when you were a young child, teen, young adult, whatever, if as you grew up, you were treated as nothing more than a stepping stone, trash bin, you start to feel like that, and you start to question what your worth is to other people. So that's why I made the point earlier when we first started streaming of like, if you are going to talk to somebody about your issues, and I think JD had this point too, make sure that you check in on the person and say, hey, are you emotionally available to handle this situation? Talk this out. Because sometimes we're not able to do so. So like, he's checking on people's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's always good to have know that your community is also reassured as well, right? But I I 100% agree, and you know what? This actually brings up a very controversial topic, like at least for me, because it is a little borderline on sexist. It's just like what gender do you feel is better to kind of communicate to the most, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know how to put it in proper terms, but
you worded it perfectly. Yeah,
but yeah, like who do you guys feel like it's better to talk to in terms of gender wise? Like, do you feel like maybe talking to a girl about it is better, or talking to a guy about it better? Guy about it is better.
For me, it depends on the
both
topic.
sex. Yeah, definitely about the topic, but like, let's say just general advice. You know, like
I go to the guys. I automatically go to the guys, and it doesn't matter what the situation is. Lord knows Nate can tell you about our.
Woo, men number one.
It's because of what I mentioned earlier, feeling safer. Like, it's to the point where, like, if I went out with a group of girls, I would make sure that I'm the sober one. Not just because of my protective instincts, but just also because of the experiences that I've had with other women. Because we basically have to look out for each other. But, the second that we mention we're with a man, the second that we mention we're in a relationship, people start to back up. And for me, being a former athlete, it's also about, those are the people that I knew I could trust, I could work out with, and there was going to be no judgment whatsoever about how I wanted to work out, why I did the way that I did it, because that's what worked for me. Whereas with the girls, it was like 90% of the time, if we were changing, at least for high school, if we were changing from uniform to our workout clothes, they would spend like 20 minutes in the change room talking about gossip of who's dating who or what situation's going on. There'd be me who's like, I just want to get my workout done and go home. Like, why are you talking about this stuff? Like, this stuff doesn't matter. Why is this important to me? So for me, I generally go with my guys. But like, there are very few, and I can probably count 5 on my hands. There are very few women I would go to. but all my guys are gonna know about the situation.
Y'all women are last.
Oh, it's either than two. Like situation.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. You might have to repeat that. Not
Yeah,
only
you were
is your
cutting
mic
off a bit.
very, very quiet, but you were cut off as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I can hates me. It all depends on the situation. Like because I've had issues with being stalked, right? Like those issues are gonna change certain things because I'm now more guarded, I'm more protective, and you know my athletes will see that, my friends will see that. But like with the new situation that just came up, and we have no idea how this came out, you know, it's again now I'm looking over my shoulders. Now again, I don't feel safe. So it's like, how do I move on from this point? And generally, when I move on, because I'm around another male, it's because I'm around somebody whose protective instincts are just as high as mine.
Huh. Oh, very, very interesting point. I mean, like, and I agree with you. I feel like it's as long as you feel safe with someone's certain, then yeah, you feel safe, right? And I feel like, you know, males they tend to kind of give more of a protective instinct, and I'm not trying to be sexist here. They do tend to be very overly protective, right? And I'm not saying women aren't, you know, but
Not sexist, Jason. It's just biology.
I'm not going into that because I don't know jack shit about fucking science. But no, but it's true. Like fucking men are gorillas or fucking monkeys. Like we our primal instinct for us specifically is ooga protection booga. You know?
Oh my god.
So I at least for me, I
booga booga protect you.
protect you, no problem. I launch missile now. No, it's I
Have anything else to add or like?
I can add something real quick.
Well, I was gonna say a point that JD raised is like,
right, yeah.
I figured.
I was just reading it too,
point.
yeah.
He talked about like the natural instinct that we have as mother figures. Well, women tend to have the mother figure, whereas the men have the father figure, and I think
maternal and paternal.
That's something that's important to talk about because men were raised a lot of the time with the idea of you are not allowed to talk about your emotions because your emotions make you weak.
Yeah, your emotions mean
and
shit.
So they learn through those situations that if they're angry or whatever, they punch, they walk away from it, and then they come back and pretend that nothing's happened, type of thing, you know. Or in some situations, you actually have a guy who will like calm himself down and say, you know what, I'm getting frustrated. I'm gonna take a step away, and I'm gonna come back when I'm calm because I do want to continue this discussion. And that in and of itself gives you like a lot of patience and everything because it teaches you actively to not let your emotions invade you. You're resetting yourself where, you know, if you're angry, if you're throwing out all these things at whoever you're talking to, you can guarantee you're going to hurt them.
Yep.
That may not be your intention, but you're going to. If you can't learn to take a step back and say, you know what, this is not a good time to do this. Let's both take a step away from this and we'll come back to it at a later time.
Yep.
And we can say in relationships that, you know, women have the best memory. It's not the best memory. It's about what those situations did to us. So we remember those situations, bring it up to you if it's like 6 months later, a year later, 3 years later, because that thing weighed heavy on us, and we want to make sure that we weren't wrong. Or we want to say, hey, well, we never finished this discussion. We never talked this out. Like, let's finish talking it out.
True. And yeah, definitely strong points. Like, I definitely feel that like it really it's so hard to kind of find someone that could mentally withhold your emotions, but at the same time could also process and rebate that, right? And that's what we're always looking for in everyone and everything, right? It's trying to find someone that could not only comprehend our bullshit to regurgitate it, but also do the same, so that we could also understand their thought process and what they're going through, right? And it's something that I always kind of poke at when I meet someone new. It's just like, hey, where are you at right now? You know, where are we at right now? What is our relationship? And you know, is there anything wrong? Is there something you want to talk about? I ask a lot of questions, and this actually goes very well for retail and every other job out there. It's like you have to ask more questions so that you could not only understand, but you could also show that you care, right? And that's how you make sales. That's how you sell yourself. That's how you kind of get to understand other people, is that you ask more questions. How does, as basic as this really is for therapists, how does that make you feel? That itself is you're trying to open up more so that you want to hear more, right? And I really push this on everybody. How do you sell a pencil? Well, first off, what kind of pen are you looking for? What kind of pencil are you looking for? You're looking for like a number 2? Are you looking for like a fine tip or one with erasers in the back? Like, what else are you trying to achieve? What's your goals here? What are you trying to accomplish? Right? Let me understand so I could fucking ride with you, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all that. Like, there's a lot of kind of he said she said perspectives, and everything is valid, right? We could all agree that everyone has the right to their own opinions, right? Now it just really comes down to is, who do we talk to about this? How do we find them? And where to go from here? And so far, everything that we said in the past 3 fucking hours was do what you think is best. Do what you think is best for yourself first before you could start worrying about others, right? And then when you have to find the others, how do you find them? You gotta start off with small steps. There's no right or wrong here, but again, my right could be your wrong could be my right. It doesn't, like everyone's different, and then that's the thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I have to get that shit off my chest. I'm just
shit. I lost my track.
It's midnight.
Well,
it's okay. Just take your time.
No, but what I was gonna say is, like, when we talk about conflict, right? Like, there's no right or wrong way of dealing with the situation. But please, for the love of all that is holy and sacred, like, if somebody touches you without your permission, you have every right to go and slap them. Like, I don't care. Really,
Catch a case of these hands, you know?
but like this is what I mean though. Like, you talked about it earlier. Consent is a really, really important thing. Like, there's a reason I'm so touchy with being touched, and like
Touchy.
it's to the point that being I hate you. But like me, because I end up going into a panic attack if I am lifted or if I'm touched without knowing who the person is. Like, I told Mitch this before, but like, somebody could raise their hand to a high five from me and I would flinch.
Yep.
That is my automatic reaction with it. Not because I actually think the person is going to hurt me, but because that is what's ingrained. And so that's something that has to actively be worked out. JD, you need to post that in the Discord. But just as well, like, as much as we say consent is important, like, whoever is in chat also understand that the second somebody says no, that does not mean that you push them until they say yes.
Mm-hmm.
No means
Like,
no.
There are so many movies and
Until no means
situations
yes.
where people push you
Never.
and
No.
persuade you into things. Oh, you know, you just have to be persistent. No,
No.
it's not about being persistent. It's about if they tell you no, you don't push again.
Mm.
It's one thing to do it in business when you're trying to make a name for yourself and your brand. A whole other thing to do it in a friendship and a partnership
Mm.
because you just completely break that trust.
Mm. Yeah. Well put. Honestly, it takes two-way street, and literally, if the first answer is no, what? Yeah, if they're manipulative enough to fucking push them, you're obviously gonna say yes eventually. But dude, that's not right. You know, it comes down to like you're harassing them to a point where you're forcing them to say yes. And is that still right? No, man. Like if they say no first, all right, cool, drop it. Just fucking drop it, man. You know, like, yeah, you could go around and take some time and then ask them again. Do you think we could do something tomorrow? No, again? Okay, fine. That's it. It's okay. I'd probably say give it some time and let it marinate and then go back to it. But if you're consistent and you're just like every fucking day you're harassing them, then that's an issue. And that even asking them the second time is also an iffy topic too. It's just like no means no to begin with, right? If you built rapport and maybe things are getting better and you notice things that have been like, okay, you know what? I feel like our relationship's been more built and there's some sort of base, then okay, then yeah, try again. He's like, hey, so have you put any thought into what I asked you the first time? All right, then and they give their opinion, and then there you go, you got your answer. But like, take it as you will, take it as a straight fucking solid answer, yes or no, right? You're down, you're not, okay, cool. I'll ask someone else.
Yeah, and if somebody says maybe, that doesn't mean to try and persuade them into it.
Mm.
It just means, okay, when you're ready, let me know what you think. Give me your response when you're ready. But otherwise, let it go. It's
as easy as that. I have so many people that are so impatient. Like, I get it if there's a deadline, there's a timeline, whatever, right? But like, if there's, it's like, dog, like if there's an event that's happening in 10 years from now and you're asking me every fucking day, hey, are you going, dog? It's 10 years from now. I'll think about it when it's like I don't know, a month from now, you know what I mean? We'll think about it then. But like, dog, stop. You're just being annoying and you're pushy. It makes me not want to go. In fact, you're doing the complete opposite. Like, so just it's timing, it's definitely if it's an open fucking answer, like maybe, then just be like, all right, just let me know. Simple as that. Cool. All right. Let me know if you change your mind. Let me know if you're going. We could do something together. All right, cool. Stop asking me that, some shit that's happening in 10 years from now. Hey, do you have a hotel booked or are you planning on doing anything? No, I don't fucking know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. Bro, I don't know what kind of clothes I'm gonna wear tomorrow. I don't fucking know. Just leave it. Just leave it. It's just I'm getting heated. I'm about to fucking box my screen.
I will add
with other people, you're trying to fix things. Biggest thing is if you recognize that the tension in the room is rising, you recognize that the emotions are getting high and people are pulling things from the past, whatever. Separate everybody, get them out of the room, let them cool off for a good 5 minutes or so, come back, then everybody's reset and you guys can go back and you can compromise on whatever you need to do.
Cool down first before you get heated, So definitely a lot of things that we talked about here today, and it just really comes down to you. We do recommend, if you have pent up issues, pent up anger, whatever it may be, talk it out. Find someone. There's help hotlines out there that will literally listen to you. You know, like as a last resort, obviously you do want to reach out to the people that do care about you. And I'm not saying that the helplines don't. It's just, you know, whatever is easier for you. If you want to talk to your loved ones, a stranger, whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, we could all take something out of this. And I hope that, you know, you guys take the initiative, right? It might be out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to, but at the same time, life is not going to give you everything on a silver platter. You have to do it yourself. All right? Life is a bitch. You yourself have to be strong enough to stand up to life and look him dead in the eyes and say, I deserve better. I want to be better. How do I do it? Yeah, ask yourself that. And then yeah. So that should pretty much be the end of Shoot the Shits. And I do appreciate everybody, every single one in the VC, in the chat, in whatever platform you're watching this from, watching this right now at home. And I hope you guys got something out of it. We do love and appreciate every single one of you guys. And I just want to make sure that there's always going to be a brighter day, a light at the end of the tunnel. And let us keep striving to become better human beings. So, without further ado, let's take some outros here. Let's start off from.
Continue. I'm sorry.
But thank you guys, as always, for coming in, saying hello, and even just sharing your stories. Because, like, honestly, that's not easy, and like we appreciate that to no end. And thank you for like helping us to make this community safe. Because like we can't do this shit without you guys as a community.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be able to be doing these streams if we didn't have people to talk to about this stuff and like share our opinions. So thank you guys, and thank you for helping with the project. I love y'all. But I mean, for the most part, like y'all will find me here moderating. And if I'm not moderating, you'll just see me in chat saying hi. But as always, thank you for coming in. If you guys aren't already in the Discord, please join the Discord, because that's where you guys will find the poll for our next STS night. And that's all. Thank you guys again so much, and please be safe and keep sharing those positive vibes with the rest of the Twitch community.
Nice, Mitchy boy.
Mm-hmm.
Where the outro, and where can they find you, Master Nate?
Hi everybody, thank you for tuning into Time to Stream, although I wasn't here due to some conditions. I hope you guys had a great eye-opener with this podcast. I was listening the entire time, although I couldn't speak. I was listening to some great points brought up, some great sharing stories. I'm glad that this went off successfully. But yes, thank you for coming in. I'm not doing my own intro because I wasn't here, but I'm just doing this line because Mitch fucked it up. But